How and what price should you pay for greatness? Welcome, my name is Olem Isaiah. You can call me the Pathfinder. Why should you listen to me right now? Because it is literally my life assignment to help you. I don't care where you are. In Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, in Accra, Ghana, in Zimbabwe, somewhere, even in the forgotten corners of the world. I really don't care. I am assigned to help you find your path, bring you into an understanding of what is required for you to walk in that path and ultimately achieve the purpose for your existence. First things first, outstanding success requires a huge price. Great success requires great prizes. Now that's one thing I want you to keep in mind while we explore our topic of discussion. Today, my primary assignment is to help you understand the principle of diligence, because there are many of us out there who feel, I don't care where you are, in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, in somewhere in Accra, Ghana, somewhere in Benue State, Nigeria, anywhere in Europe, America, I don't really care. And all this law applies to every demography and every geography of this earth. Now, here's what you want to understand. There are many of us out there who feel entitled. We feel that the world owes us something. We feel that because we have gained some level of educational qualification, then the world should automatically buttress our success. Now, the world doesn't work like that, and your parents owe you nothing. Your family owes you nothing. Your brother owes you nothing. Your sister owes you nothing. Your boss owes you nothing. You owe yourself everything. Your success is determined by you. Other factors are just assisting factors. Now, what you want to understand is you are the main player in your field for success. I repeat, you are the main player in your field for success. Great successes are not cheap. They don't come cheaply. Now, you will need to make up your mind to find out what price you need to pay and make up your mind to pay the price, and ultimately it will lead you to the success that you deserve. Now, the one principle that entire process is going to require is what is diligence. Diligence is, I can define it as a quality of being resilient, the quality of being productive, the quality of being resourceful, your unbendingness, your refusal to bow out of what you've laid your mind and heart to achieve. Now, why should you have this quality? Because outside this quality, believe me, you can achieve nothing. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you are. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen out there, outside the quality of diligence, your unbendingness, your resilience, your tenacity, your no bow outness, there is no success for you. The quality of diligence is one quality you need to possess if you're going to grow in all areas of your life. You need to understand that it is frustrating for you to, find yourself growing mentally, and then your pulse is not growing. You find yourself growing physically, and then you're not improving. You find yourself growing in one area of your life, and then some other areas are dormant. They're just not growing. They're in a state of lethargy, in a state of inertia, suffering from insomnia, in fact. Now, it is important that you grow holistically, because that is exactly what will fulfill you as an individual. It's not just okay that you're growing financially. It's not just okay that you're growing spiritually. It's not just okay that you're growing mentally, right? It's not just okay that you have good health. You want to make sure that all these areas that I've listed, your family life, your business life, your career life, are growing, because ultimately that is going to determine what your level of happiness to be felt for you is, right? The level of happiness that you are going to feel as an individual. And to that regard, it is your decision to make. It is a conscious choice that you have to make. That I don't want just to grow physically. I don't want to find out that at a certain stage of my life, I have grown spiritually, but then my pulse is thin. I have grown in my family pursuit, but then my career is dead. That's not how you want to live your life, because guess what? Your purpose in life is not restricted to one area of your life. Your purpose in life is multifaceted. You are supposed to grow multiple areas of your life as you aim yourself towards the ultimate reason for which you were bettered. And here's what you want to know. You do not see with your eyes. You see through your eyes. Your eyes are a window to your mind. right? So many of us are out there and you think you actually see with your eyes. No. Now, picture this. Shut down the brain of a man and open his eyes. Will the person still be seeing? No. Now that tells you that you only see through your eyes. You don't see with your eyes. Everything a man is made up in his mind. Without the functionality of your mind, nothing can be achieved. Now, the most important work you can ever do as far as your destiny is concerned is thinking. You need to be deliberate and conscious. You just don't wake up and go into a day you are not planned for, because you're just going to keep waking up and going into days that you're not planned for. And if you're not prepared, failure to prepare is preparation to fail, right? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So what you want to make sure to do is to train your mind to prepare for where you're going, to see ahead, to have a vision, a foresightedness, almost like an a foreboding of what you are walking into, what is going to require, and that ultimately is going to determine if you're going to enjoy successes in life. And secondly, this is very important, you need to understand that nothing succeeds and exceeds like success. Let me repeat that for a moment. Nothing succeeds and exceeds like success. It is good you record the wins. What you have, it needs to be recorded and implanted into your mind. You need to have it reverberate in your head. That success, it might be trivial. You might see it as mild. You might see it as puny. But believe me, if you have a consciousness of the successes you have attained up to this point, then diligence can be motivated in you. Ultimately, you being more productive. Pay whatever price needs to be paid for that purpose to come to reality. Succeed or I succeed. That is what diligence entails. And that's one quality you need to have. And I make mention of the fact that there are many of us scattered all over that tend to blame many other people for the reasons why we're not succeeding. Now, you need to understand that it's not supposed to be so. You're not supposed to even nurse that mentality, that psychology, that proclivity. You're not supposed to even have it in you, because your success is ultimately going to be determined by you. You are the main figure of play in your field of success. Now, what you want to make sure to do is that you take up the baton. You move with it. It is a relay race. Many people have run. What excuses are you giving? You're saying right now, the place I am doesn't feel right. The people I am with, they do not support. I'm waiting for the resources to come. I'm waiting for my business to begin to strive. I'm waiting. You can wait for a lot of things. But guess what? What you want to make sure to begin to do is to do what you can where you are with what you have. You need to be diligent with what you have, because ultimately it is what you do with what you have that will prepare you to do more with what you get, right? I want you to get that. It is what you do with what you have that will ultimately prepare you to do more with what you get. So that's diligence for you. You need to be a diligent person. You need to pursue your goals intentionally. Ultimately, this is what you want to understand. Life as an adult doesn't give you what you wish for. It gives you what you pay for. And that captures the whole mechanism behind diligence. It is not a wish. You're going to wish. Some people, I know, it is erroneous to feel entitled as a human being. As an adult, I tell you this. You know why? Because the more entitled you feel, the more complacent you become. But life doesn't work that way. Life works in such a way that whatever you want, you have to pay something for it, so long as you're an adult. I don't care what you have right now. I don't care what you do. There is a price to be paid for that which you are aiming for. And until you make up your mind to pay that price, it is never going to come to your corridor of possession, right? So you want to make sure that your mind is made up, that I'm not going after this wishfully. It's not something I'm doing wistfully. It's something I'm ready to encounter challenges. I know that as I'm going towards my goal, there are going to be obstacles, right? There are going to be disruptions. There are going to be distractions. There are going to be deterrents. There are going to be hindrances. There are going to be hold-ups, right? There are going to be hiccups. But my mind is made up. This is what I want to achieve. This is what is meant for me in the universe. This is what my path is. This is my purpose. I am going to pay the price. And the price is not going to stop me Whatever it takes, it is going to be paid, and I'm going to pay in full, and I'm going to achieve what I want to achieve and enjoy the success that is due me in the universe. Now, paying is another different mechanism. Now, many people are paying prices for what is not leading them to their aim, right? You are paying a price for somebody else's dream. You're doing something and you are busy. There are many people that labor like elephants, they eat like ants. Can you picture that? They labor deliberately, exhaustively so, like elephants, and then ultimately they eat like ants. Now, the reason for that is this, and you want to pay really good attention to this. There is what is required for your goal. Not everything, all things are permissible, but not all things are experienced. What that means is all things are allowed, but not all things are suitable for what you want to achieve. So you want to make up your mind to, first of all, find out what price do I need to pay? What is required of me? Who do I need to know? What information do I need to have? Because you can be busy moving steadily, daily, and you're moving in the wrong direction, moving in someone else's direction. You're going to get to a place and you find out that you're not being fulfilled. It's not fulfilling you. It's not what you wanted to do. It's not what you wanted to achieve. Now, that is going to be a feeling that you wouldn't want to possess. So you want to find out the mechanism behind paying, because paying itself is a science. Paying is a science. You want to find out the science behind the price that you need to pay, and ultimately make up your mind to pay that price. Every price requires sacrifice. You can't keep doing what you've been doing and be expecting a different result. Sacrifice requires that you get uncomfortable. You don't stay in your state of convenience, because the inconvenience is what will shape you for where you want to go, right? So there's a sacrifice to be paid. I look at you right now, you are size 50 or whatever size you are, and you aiming to be size 25 or something. I guess I'm close. You need to cut down on your diet, right? There is a price. You need to see some food and say, no, this is not for me, because I'm envisioning size 50. I can't keep eating this grease. I can't keep eating this protein. I can't. That's what you want to make up your mind to do. There are prices to be paid. There are materials to be consulted. There are things you need to know that you don't yet know. And for you to get into the knowledge of those things, it is not going to be comfortable. It is going to be stressful. It is going to be inconveniencing. But these are the prices, and believe me, not everybody is willing to pay that price. But you right now listening to me, I trust you are among the few 5% of humans living in the world currently. Only 5% of humans can make up their mind to not only know what they want to do, but make up their mind to find out what it takes for them to do that, and ultimately be willing to pay the price. And trust me, that is the group of humans you want to be in, because ultimately those are the group of the successful humans in the whole entirety of humanity. In all human race, billions of people that have ever existed on the earth, imagine only 1,000, a handful, a few thousand out of billions have ever made strides, have ever made innovations that benefited humanity as a whole. And that's exactly what you want to do. You want to make sure that your life counts, that at the end of your life, you do not become a warning to others. People shouldn't say, if you want to go far in life, don't take this reference. That's not how you want to end up your life, right? So you want to make sure to make up your mind to pay the price. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. Here's what you want to know. Everything great has great prizes, right? I've said that before, that great success has huge prizes. And the price to pay requires huge sacrifices. And until you make up your mind to make up that sacrifice, to see the opportunity cost, what you need to give for what you want to get, what you need to give, you need to be willing to do what others are not willing to do today, so you can be able to enjoy what they won't be able to enjoy in the future. Right? There is something you need to do today that the same thing that successful people don't like to do are the same thing that failures don't like to do. Successful people do them anyways. Now that's the group you want to be in. The group that doesn't feel like it, but has the discipline enough to do what they need to do when they need to do it, either they feel like it or not. Now look at this with me. I know you've heard this before, countless number of times, thousands of times probably, and you hear people say time is money. Now, you've heard that, but what exactly does that mean? What do people mean when they say time is money? Now, let me bring you into an experiential knowledge of what that means. When you hear that time is money, it's not necessarily because money comes with the spending of time. It is what you spend your time on that people can ultimately be willing to spend their time on, that will warrant them, by reason of them spending their time for what you spent your time developing, to reward you with their money. Before the 1980s, I guess, there was no time for Facebook. You and I had no time for Facebook. And then a gentleman, Mark Zuckerberg, made up his mind and said, okay, fine, I need to pay the price to develop something to make people have time for this thing I'm going to develop. And ultimately he came up with Facebook. And now you and I have time for Facebook. And right now he's one of the most richest people on earth, because he made it an intention to draft out something that people will be willing to invest their time into, and with that investment of time comes their resources, and ultimately he becomes a beneficiary of what their resources have to offer. Now, the successful people and the failures have the same time, right? We all have the same 24 hours in a day. It depends on how you spend your time that is going to make the difference. It doesn't matter if you're in a rural community. It doesn't matter. It's ultimately what you spend your time doing that is going to make the difference in your life. And you want to make sure to spend your time not only pursuing material things, because the unit of destiny is time. The more time you're wasting pursuing vanity, even if that is profitable in itself, don't get me wrong, respectfully speaking right now, even if that is profitable in itself, the more time you spend in vanity, in thinking and reverberating in what you don't have, is the more time you are drifting away from what you could have. Let me reiterate that. The more time you spend reverberating, reminiscing on what you don't have, is the more time you are wasting in drifting away from what you could have. But what you want to make sure to do is to spend your time consciously, intentionally, conscientiously moving towards your goal, your purpose, your ideal, your path, because that is ultimately going to determine the level of success. Before we go, this is what I want you to understand, and please follow me carefully. The things we enjoy right now are things people had to pay for, right? Pay with their time, because diligence really requires your time, it requires your energy, it requires your resources. The quality of diligence requires that you invest your time, you spend wisely your resources, and then you put your maximum level of required energy into what you are striving for. And that's exactly the quality of diligence. Now picture this, and please travel with me in your mind. The things we enjoy today, just look at the light bulb, right? The things, the beautiful things we see around us today are things people made up their mind to pay some certain level of prices for, with their time, with their resources, with the emotional turmoil, with the cynicism, with the sadistic people had to pay great prices for the things we enjoy. Come to the science world, right? The theories that were developed, there were prices that had to be paid painfully and laboriously so. Now here's my question. What is it that in the next 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, by reason of you being alive now, that the generation that is coming after you can see and thank you for? And that's exactly what you want to make sure to do as an individual, that you do not just live your life as a mere existence. You do not just live passing and whiling away time. You want to make sure that the people coming after you, that after you, the people that are coming are going to see you as a testimony, as a reference point, as a point of inspiration, as somebody to look forward to becoming like, right? To inspire them to know that, okay, fine, it can be difficult. It's not always going to be comfortable. There are things I need to do now and I have not figured them out. But ultimately, it is possible. And that's the testimony that you want your life to portray. And you need to make up your mind to do that. And believe me, it is the best way you can ever live. There is difference between being killed and dying. When you die fulfilled. You die having known that you have done all you could of impact, right? Before we go, I admonish you. If you have something reverberating in your mind, you have something you are reminiscing on that is occupying your mind right now, comment it below. Why? Because you don't know who is watching and you don't know what impact you'll be making in that person's life, right? And the community really, by the way, welcome to the Pathfinders Global. This is a community where we are intentional about finding our path in life, what it is that we need to accomplish as human beings, the reason, the purpose for which we were birthed, ultimately understanding it and getting willing to pay the price. So welcome and congratulations out there to you right now. And I pray, I really pray and hope that this message finds you in time. Now, before I leave you, I want you to comment below, right? Like, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel so that it can be exposed to more people who readily need this information that is readily available right now, but they don't really know that it is there. Subscribe to the platform and ultimately, welcome to the Pathfinders Global.